This video is about how to replace a clutch on a Scout 80 with a 4-cylinder engine and a 3-speed transmission. Using Air Tools is a great way to do this. You first remove all the bolts that connect the bell housing to the engine block. Then you can use a pry bar to separate the two. We've already loosened the bolts or removed the bolts from the transmission mounts, so the transmission and bell housing move freely. So you back it straight out and away from the engine and set it aside. Here we're removing the clutch pressure plate. There's 6 bolts, and Air Tools is a great way to do this. Now we're removing the bolts that retain the flywheel to the crankshaft. And give it a couple of wiggles and it should come right out. Now you're going to want to replace the rear main seal. All of these engines are getting old, and you would not want to do a clutch and find out a week later that it was leaking. So you clean off the interior surface, and then you're going to take some silicone, whatever type you like, and you're going to place that on the side of the new rear main seal. The silicone we're using is amber in color, and you can see it on the outer perimeter of the new rear main seal. Now you start tapping and work your way all the way around. It's called walking in the seal. You'll tap it in until it's flush, and then you'll drive it in a little bit further with some sort of a drift or some sort of a small tapping device. And now it's probably flush. And now you'll set it all the way in by walking it all the way around, and you set it all the way in until it stops moving. There's kind of a detent that's built into the block. You'll remove any of the excess sealant that you've put in there. Now we've already removed the pilot bearing from the flywheel, but here we are reinstalling the flywheel. And reinstalling the bolts that attach the flywheel to the crankshaft. It's a really good idea to clean up your flywheel. The exterior surface always has a little bit of residual road grease, a little bit of surface rust, all kinds of stuff like that. And it's always a good idea, even if you have an excellent flywheel, such as this one, to still clean it up a little bit. You might want to inspect yours. If it has any cracks or any real problems, you may want to have it resurfaced. Now, this is the new pilot bearing, and you tap it into place, and you walk it in, same process as with the rear main seal. Now this is the new pressure plate and clutch disc. The plastic thing with the ring sticking out of the middle is the clutch alignment tool. There's 6 bolts that hold the pressure plate into place. When these bolts are tightened down, it completely prevents you from being able to adjust or move the actual clutch disc any longer. And that's why you need to hold it into an alignment state. And he's removing the clutch alignment tool. Now, of course, this is the transmission and bell housing. There's 2 pins that align the bolts, the bolt holes up together, and he's already inserted the input shaft for the transmission, and now he's finding those two little pins, and he's just found them. He's reinserting the bolts. So that's how you change a clutch in a Scout 80 with a 3-speed transmission and a 4-cylinder engine. All the parts and pieces you've seen in this video you can purchase at scoutparts.com, or please give us a call at 888-288-0550.